Pranam, sorry.
Pranam Jyoti.
Welcome today for sharing with us your story, how you reached America and then how you met Osho.
Yes.
Whatever you feel like sharing,
Yes.
your journey to America and coming to Osho. I've heard few little bits from you. It's very interesting. So please share with us in detail.
Thank you, Jyotima. Before I go on, I would like to first of all bow down at the feet of beloved Osho, and I remember him. And I can say only one thing, that his compassion and his care, his caring, his support, his blessings have been enormously very significant factors in making this journey as interesting and as wonderful as it has been. So I first bow down to Osho. One thing also I would like to say, Jyotima, that throughout this many years that I have been journeying through this, what you may call spiritual journey, we may say,
Yes.
Osho uses this term existence. Existence or nature or God, whatever, has been very helpful also. I don't know how things happen, how things were managed, and how I was able to go through them. I still find it very unbelievable how it happened. But definitely kind of a blessing from the existence that has helped me. So before I bring in my real journey, how I reached to Osho, I need to give you a little background, and because that background will lead to Osho. First thing is that in 1966, I completed my Ph.D. at the MS University of Baroda in Gujarat, in India. And suddenly, a thought occurred to me, because I was also exposed to Western literature and so on. So thought occurred to me, shouldn't there be a comparative study of the Indian and Western literature? That idea was very interesting, but it was not very simple. First of all, going to America, you had to take an admission, and then after that, you need money to go to America, and to study in America was not a simple thing. So the first thing was that I had to apply for what we call F1 visa, student visa, and there was an exam, some test and all that. I passed that test and I was given the F1 visa. So it worked out that I can, and I was admitted at the University of Wisconsin. Madison is the name of the campus for this study, my second, you can call second PhD. There is a separate department in the university there. It's called comparative literature. That the whole department is for a comparative study. So I said, this is ideal. Anyway, now the issue was how to reach America. Of course, my father was absolutely clear that he cannot do anything because he doesn't have that kind of money, and I'll have to somehow, manage it. Now, I couldn't believe what to do, and suddenly the idea came to my mind. It may sound very outlandish, but idea came. The idea came that, these film stars, they have a lot of money. That was my understanding. Maybe one of them can help me, give me some loan, that's as a loan, and maybe I might carry on. So then the thought was, who could be that person who can be so kind to help me, to give me the loan of these film actors? And again, out of somewhere, the idea came that Raj Kapoor ji, and I had seen his movie. I used to see a lot of movies, Jagte Raho and so on and so forth, a lot of movies, She 420, as you remember. So I thought he can be a right person who can give. Now, and I was just chit-chatting with friends and just saying this idea. Suddenly there was a classmate in my class. Her name was Shakuntala Desai. So she somehow got the link. So she said, but do you want to go to Bombay? That's true, but where are you going to stay? I said, I don't know. I have not even given thought yet where I'm going to stay. She said, well, at least you should have a place to stay. You just cannot go to Bombay. So she said, do one thing. This is my address in Goregaon. My family lives, my parents are there, my brother, sister. You just find a place there. After that, whatever you want to do, that's for you to look out. So she gave me the address and so on and so forth. And so I left Baroda and I arrived Goregaon. Her father, his name was Jayant Kumar Desai, if I remember. He was a big set artist. He used to create sets in the movies. And actually, he had studied at Shanti Niketan and was a good artist. He was a good painter himself. So I arrived there and so I said, okay, so let us try to see Raj Kapoorji and see. So I went to RK Studio, Chembur, and I was about to enter into the gate, and the gatekeeper said, where are you going? I said, I'm just going to see Shri Raj Kapoorji. You have an appointment? I said, no, I don't have an appointment. But he said, he is not available like this. He's shooting late at night for the Sangam movie. And so he gets up very late in the day. It's not very easy to meet him. So I said, okay. Now again, a very sudden, I had not given any thought to this all. I said, well, if I cannot see Raj Kapoorji, maybe can I see his father, Shri Prithviraj Kapoorji? So yes. So I said, but where can I find him? He said, this is the place where he stays. So I said, okay. So I went to his place. I knocked on the door and the man came out. He said, he is not here. He is at Wadia Brothers shooting there. His film is going on. Film shooting is happening. I said, okay. So I arrived at Wadia Brothers studio. And again, as I was about to enter, the guard said, where are you going? I said, I'm going to see Shri Prithviraj Kapoorji. I said, you have an appointment? I said, no, I don't have it's not that easy to just go and see him. Wait, stay here. So he somehow felt some whatever. He went and through his intercom phone, he called, and it was a lunchtime. So Prithviraj Kapoorji was resting, having lunch and taking rest. So he just called and somehow Prithviraj said, okay, send him. So he said, Jao, you can go. So I went there. I tell you, he was sitting, his back was at the door entrance. He had such a huge body, he was very tall and very huge. I could only see the back. And he was wearing this, what we call pitambar. During religious ceremony, we wear the clothes, dhoti, and he was seated there. So I went there, I did pranam to him. And so I just simply said that this is my plan. I want to go to America and I just want loan. I don't want any charity or any. These are my transcripts. I was first in BA. I was first class, first in MA. I just completed my Ph.D. and so on and so forth. I gave him so that he can feel that I'm worthy enough to travel to America for study. So he said, well, people go to America, but they don't study. They just waste their time. They just enjoy here and there. I was trying to see if Raj or Shami or Shashi could go, but they did not show any interest. So people don't really go. I said, sir, I am serious about it. I want to go. If you can help me out, whatever documents you want to make, I'm willing to sign and I'll pay back. Whatever happened, he felt. So he said, okay, do one thing. You write me a letter after 15th of August and I'll see if I can if nothing else, what in say in Hindi, "Phool ne to phool ki patti," whatever little I can contribute, I'll be able to do that. I said, okay. Now, then I came out, and just I want to finish the story because I did write a letter, but there was no answer. I can understand because the so-called secretaries, they must be getting so many letters like this. They must have dropped it. So that's end the story. Now the issue was where to go. Who else can be can help? Another idea. Lata Mangeshkar ji. Lata Mangeshkar ji she must be having good money. Maybe. So I said, okay. So I went to her residence, Prabhu Nivas, Pedder Road, and I knocked on the door. So some lady came. She said, she is not well right now. She cannot see anyone. She's not keeping well. I said, all right. Then what can we say? Then the idea of who else? Then I thought, maybe Balraj Sahani, another famous actor. So where is he? He's shooting in Dadar, Ranji Studio Dadar. So I went to Dadar. I was told he is very busy in shooting, he cannot meet you, and so on and so forth. So I kind of felt rather disappointed. And this Shakuntala's father, Jayant Kumarji, he was watching the whole scene. Then he said, let's make a long shot deal. He said, I'll come to the point where I'm just giving you the background. He said, let's make a point. He said, in your Baroda University, in Fine Arts faculty, there is a dean. His name is Shanko Chaudhary. He is a very famous sculptor. And he was my class fellow at Shantiniketan. And he knows the owner of Alembic Company, Nanubhai Amin. And Nanubhai has money. So if Shanko Chaudhary could speak to Nanubhai, maybe Nanubhai can help you. So this all I can write a letter for Shanko Chaudhary. So he wrote a good letter, class fellows. So I went back to Baroda, went to his office. He read, he was very touched because he remembered. He said, okay, I'm meeting Nanubhai tomorrow. You come and check what he says. So he must have met. I went to see him. Nanubhai said, okay, send him to meet me. This is how I was given an appointment to see this owner of the big Alembic company, Nanubhai Amin. So as soon as I showed him all those papers, he heard, and then he said, okay, so how much money do you need? I was not prepared for that kind of a question. I thought maybe he'll ask this and he'll ask that. So I just blabbered. I made an effort. I said, 5,000 rupees. So he called his accountant, please give him 5,000 rupees and just write down that he has taken, don't make any formal thing and all that. Just write it down that he has given. That's how I started my fundraising to go to America with this 5,000. Then I went to this friend and that friend. So somebody gave me 1,000, some 500. So then I got some loan from the government, some fellowship, I don't know how. But somehow I was able to raise funds for my fees. One term fee at that time was $550. One term fee. And my passage from India to America, that was the main thing. So I was able to raise that much money, and and then but the problem was that flying to America was very expensive at that time by fly. The only other alternative was going by ship. Ship was a little cheaper. So I said, okay, I'll go by ship. So I left Bombay by ship at some time in 25th or 28th of December. And it was a 13-day journey. So I started by ship, and the ship came through to Cairo and took a break there. So I went out to see the museum and the mummy and this and that. And then an idea came to my mind. This again is very strange. I said, well, I'm going to America. I should have a hat. People wear hat. So I went to the market and I bought a hat for $20. Actually, in my pocket at that time, I only had $40 cash. And out of that, I paid $20 for the hat. So I only had $20 in my pocket arriving to America. And as we moved after Cairo and we entered into the Mediterranean Sea towards Italy, the whole sea was rolling like this. And there was no way that you can stand. You had to just lie down and hold like this. And continuous vomiting, continuous. To such an extent that even if I have not eaten anything, I have not even seen anything, just the thought of food and there was vomit. So all these things happened until we reached Trieste, southern Italy. So we got out the ship. Then there was a train journey. So from Switzerland, France, I arrived to England by ferry and all this. And London, I stayed overnight at a Salvation Army place. And next day, I took a plane, Pan Am at that time, and arrived in Chicago. And then I took the bus, and in bus I arrived to University of Wisconsin Madison camp. This was the whole journey from